Hi everyone, welcome to the ASP Unlimited app and a few days later, Active Cell Protection Extra. Today we are again at the C2 Tactical in Scottsdale. They have very graciously allowed me to have this range. I'm very grateful to them for that. Had a friend who recently took a class. They wanted him to have some buckshot for a shotgun class that he had. He found this Olin Corporation mil-spec double-aught buck. It says 5 cartridges, 12 gauge shot shell, number 000 buck, military grade buck. Okay, I want to see how that stuff patterns compared to my Federal 8 pellet flight control double-aught buck. Today's video is sponsored by Backstreet Surveillance, Active Self-Protection's trusted source for home and business surveillance. They offer free expert system design and quotes using their Backstreet Surveillance system design tool to help you build the perfect system for your application. They also offer nationwide professional installation, remote smartphone monitoring, and their revolutionary 360 4K camera to help you keep track of and protect that which you love. Check them out at the link in the description and thank them for bringing us today's video. Now, this stuff is kind of, ubiquitous the world over. It's old school military buckshot, 9 pellet. You can see, it's green here. It says 9 pellet double-aught buck, kind of high brass with a Winchester stamp on the head. And I'm sure this stuff is full power. I'm sure it is going to kick like a mule. I want to see how it patterns. I mean, I've shot a ton of, this is Federal Flight Control 8 pellet double-aught buck. This is the reduced recoil stuff. So it is the LE-13300. This stuff is unobtainium right now, okay? So I'm not saying if you can find it, if you find LE-13300 anywhere, buy it. Buy as much as you can find. I bought a bunch of it when it was still cheap, and so I still have a bunch in my safe. I'm being cautious with it. But I know a lot of people say buckshot's buckshot, and today we got a couple targets out here, and we're gonna show that's just not the case. So we're gonna run these through Fragerach, my hyper kind of bougie 1301. I've taken the suppressor off of him because I don't know what this buckshot's gonna do, and I don't wanna mess with that. So same gun. Now this gun is vanged, so it has a Vang barrel in it. You can't get that on a 1301, guys. I'm sorry. They did this as one of 3 kind of prototypes that they were doing. They don't have the capability to do it in any kind of volume right now or the tooling to do it. So this one though is optimized for flight control. You cannot really choke flight control anymore. You can't make it any tighter. It makes it a little bit better recoiling. So it is optimized for flight control. So that kind of, obviously gives flight control a leg up in this race, but it's the gun that I've got. So I'm just gonna run them both and see how they do. Now I'm here at 15 yards. My expectation at 15 yards on the flight control is I should have a group about, I don't know, maybe 4 inches or so. In fact, I'm gonna shoot a B8 over there, just because that should stay in kind of certainly within the 8-inch circle, certainly within that. And then we'll shoot the big dog there on a target that I used for another video. It's got a big pattern. We'll see what it does. All right, first, the stuff that I'm used to. Okay, we got that. Everything's good, looking good. Okay, very good. A little lower than maybe I was having there. I gotta think about my zero on that. That might be indicative that my zero's a touch off. All right, now it's the big stuff here. Again, 15 yards. Now, I will say, some folks are like, well, John, 15 yards, who would have that? This might be a distance on your property, for sure, if you own a home. This in the home that I owned for 15 years or 20 years would probably be from my front door to the edge of my property. Now, I'm not saying you should do that. We're not doing scenarios here. This is probably about the edge of most people in their defensive usefulness. So let's see how it does. All right, push. Yeah, that's a little bit more, a little bit more recoil. Now let's go take a look at the patterns. Oh man, I think you're gonna be not happy with that buckshot. Let's take a look at some of the others here. Ooh, interesting. That's an interesting choice here. Okay, so here's flight control. This is the WAD. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's probably an 8th one in there that I can't see. So we did have a little bit of a flyer there, which is kind of interesting. I'm not super used to that, but we probably have, I don't know, about a 6-inch group, give or take. Now, I aimed at the middle of this. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, I think that's the WAD, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe one of those could be 9. Maybe, but you've got a pattern now at 15 yards that I'm starting to lose pellets off of kind of anything resembling a bad guy. So this 15 yards would be as far as you could possibly shoot without losing pellets on this particular one. Whereas on the flight control, I mean, again, I'm still all well within an A zone on that. So pretty dang clear to me, flight control is worth investing in. Not the least of which, my goodness, the recoil on the other one, so much more. But the pattern on it's so bad. I wouldn't trust that stuff to save my life.